The Slide Media Sports slash Hip Hop, which one only Mr. Slide Media right here. This right here is my review on Lil Baby's documentary Untrapped. This is a documentary, pretty much an hour-long documentary leading up to Lil Baby's second album. Leading up to Lil Baby's second album and all that. So that's pretty much what this whole documentary is about. His startup, his come up in the game, that lead to his second. I think it's the second one's gonna call. It's only time something like that. It's called his new second album. It comes out 3 more. I think in a few more weeks from now. And I'll definitely do a review on that album. Definitely on Slime Media right here on Slime Media Sports slash Hip Hop. But yeah, this is right here is my view on his documentary. Wow. Now, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Georgia, but I'm like I said, Lil Baby's done from the southwest, west side, west end of Atlanta. That's one of the more tougher cities of Atlanta for sure. We different right here. I'm over here from the east side, a little different area, east side of DeKalb County of Georgia. The most famous person to probably come from DeKalb County y'all familiar with is Childish Gambino, who I do a review of on his TV show Atlanta, which is a very very good show. Pretty much demonstrates a lot of stuff that goes on the east side. So I love that show tremendously so much. So for sure, like you know, that's the main person that comes from the east side. But Lil Baby, like I said, Lil Baby, he pretty much talk about his story growing up. Him being in school, kind of skipping school, skipping class, and all that. Pretty much was in the streets getting money, doing his things, in the streets getting money. But what slowed him down and realized like he had to stop doing was when he got locked up and all that. He was in prison for 2 years and all that in 2015. That's when he realized he had to change his ways and get out of it. And also him having a son as well. His son is definitely entertaining. Probably like one of the show stealers of the documentary. His son and all and everything. His firstborn. So yeah, but once we had him, that's when he realized he had to get himself straight and kind of like stop doing what he was doing. But he was getting money in the street, like making what rappers make like off a show and all and everything like that. He was getting that easy just off the street, like within an hour or so and all that, selling drugs and doing all that. Of course, he talks about that, growing up in that environment. That's why he turned into that. He was gambling, doing all that to get money and everything. And Thug even talks about that, Free Thug and all the YSL members by the way as well. But Young Thug even talks about he was telling him like I used to get this dude money, like, hey man, here's some money right here, like, yeah, to get him out the street, tell him like, hey, I whatever you made right now doing this dope and all that, here's the money right. He said Young Thug said he would have gave the man $1 million if what I'm saying, if he asked for it just to get him out the street and all and everything like that. You ain't gotta rap, just come to the studio to do that. But Coach K and P, like two guys, Coach K used to represent, Jeezy, Gucci Mane used to manage them and all and everything. And P was another guy from the street and all that as well, had been in and out of the prison and all and everything like that. They both just decided collectively to come together pretty much to start like their own record label, QC, Quality Control. And it was about the culture and about the music. And of course, they talk about Migos because Migos was the first people to actually really put QC on the map and everything when the Migos came out and all that. But they were interested in Lil Baby. Like P already knew about Lil Baby, like being in the trap and all that and everything like that together and all that, seeing him in them kind of place. And he was just trying to get in the rap. Lil Baby didn't first want to rap. Which gets to my point to a lot of rappers that were good that didn't want to be a rapper and never become rappers. 2 Chainz, he was as well somebody that's been in the game for a long, long time. He was in the background with Ludacris DTP. He really wasn't rapping like that. He was just a guy. He said he was a plug. Anytime anybody came to Jordan need to get some weed or anything like that, he was the plug for that. He was a real trapper like that. 2 Chainz already had money when he came into the rap game and all that. OJ Juice Man as well, another guy that didn't rap like that, but came in, he started rapping just because of that. Gucci Man as well, a guy that didn't want to be a rapper or anything like that. He was a guy out the street kind of per se and end up, hey, he just tried to find some other way to get out by the side rapping. Jeezy as well, Coach K talked about that as well. Jeezy was a guy like that was not really into rapping or anything like that at first. It just he found the skill, just start picking the mic and start wanting to become a rapper and all that. Even goes back, you go to New York, Benny Single didn't want to be a rapper at first until Dame heard him rap one time when he was freestyling in Philly with Freeway and them, and then that's how he became a rapper and everything. So Baby was just one of them as well. Like he didn't want to be a rapper. It took him a while before he found this niche and found his stride. But when he seen Coach K, my dog, that's when he took off. Cause really, like I said, it was first Lil Baby and Marlo. They were the main two acts, new acts that was trying to get put on and everything like that. And once Lil Baby had my dog, he was up to the roof when he had that my dog. So he took off from there and everything. And you saw just more of his growth and all the mixtapes and everything like that. But I think when Street Gospel came out, people talked about it. That that's his favorite. That's my favorite tape for sure from Lil Baby. That's my favorite mixtape out of all Baby's mixtape. Street Gospel. When that came out, that's when like he really hit too. That's when he hit his stride when that came out. And Per Cocaine, people talk about that. That was a song that really had full buzz when Per Cocaine came out. I remember people was playing that on Instagram Live, playing that a lot. Per Cocaine, but for sure, Street. I want to make sure I'm saying this album. I mean this mixtape right as well. But Street Gospel for sure was definitely like a tape that little baby had. That I was like, yeah, this. That's when I really became more and more a fan. I was a fan of. I like this music. That's my dog. But when that came out, Street Gospel, when that came out, that for sure really like Street Gossip. My bad. Not Street Gossip, but Street Gossip. That's what Per Cocaine came on. That's when you saw Lil Baby's flow and all that. And he got better and all that. And I feel like yeah, that's why that's one of my favorite tapes. Street Gossip. Not to say other tapes were trash or anything, but Street Gossip, that was the one for sure. And that's when he took off and everything like that. Also, as well, he came out with the album My Turn. Literally, it was his turn. When his album finally dropped, My Turn hit big and all that. Number one everywhere and all that. Number one in the country and all that and everything. And to me, I look at it like everybody was saying like I'm a shot he didn't win a Grammy and all that. That's what shocked me too. He didn't win a Grammy for that. Or I mean, not saying win a Grammy. He wasn't nominated for a Grammy. That's still shocking. That just showed you. Once as well, we always say the Grammys, Oscars. They sometimes ain't black. They ain't with us and all that because they can't relate and all that to the culture. So he didn't get nominated for a Grammy for that. So he did perform and everything like that, but of course he didn't win. He didn't win or anything like that. He was nominated a Grammy for his song. For his, oh my goodness, I literally forget that song all the time. I gotta go to it. I'm sorry, I gotta go to it. The bigger picture, yes. The bigger picture, that song. He got nominated for that for one of the best songs of the year with the bigger picture. He performed it and everything as well at the Grammys, but he didn't win or anything like that. So but he did get noticed, and people start realizing Lil Baby is a star and everything like that. You know, because like the bigger picture really was like that song that really kind of like yeah, that definitely the song that made him stand out and all when that came out. But for my turn to be as big as it was, and it came out during the pandemic, and still number one with no promotion, no tours or nothing like that during like I said, during pretty much everybody was inside and everything like that. Wow, when everybody was quarantined, that just shows you how good of an album it was, and how good his music was. When for it to still be all that and everything like that, and he don't, and like I said, with pretty much barely any promotion like that, and all. So, yeah, that just shows you how much of a good artist he is. Also, other stuff he talks about the death of Marlon, Peter Marlowe, because Lil Baby kind of took off hard and Marlo did. I feel like it's always like that with a duo with a star. Goes back to the OJ Juice Man situation when Gucci Man took off, and then even Flocka took off, but OJ kind of stayed where he was at. He never took off like that. That's the same thing I believe. Kind of seems like what happened. With Lil Baby and Marlo. Marlo kind of didn't take off as hard as Lil Baby. He was always happy for him. Like still cool with him. Kind of like OJ still is with Gucci because I believe OJ was at Gucci Man's wedding as well. They're still very tight from what I know. So you know, but Gucci just took off harder than he did. Also with Dollar Boy and Two Chains and Duffel Bad Boy. When Duffel Bad Boy of course broke up, Two Chains took off solo wise, and Dollar Boy ain't never really take off like that. So it can just happen like that. It's always like that dynamic duo. Somebody else takes off harder than the other person does. So that's what happened. Like I said, Marlo was mostly in the street and all and everything like that. And I guess that's what happens with situations in the street a lot and like him getting killed on the highway and everything like that. So the one of the journalists, musical journalists, talk about that how messed up that was with Marlo with Marlo down and everything like that. So like I said, Marlo was definitely a good artist and everything as well. He had a couple songs I listened to I like as well. The Finesse and Trapping with him and Lil Baby and Feast, that was a good song. Like I said, he had a couple other I can't think off the top of my head, but he had a other couple good songs as well. The Harder Way, that mixtape with him Lil Baby was definitely very, very tough. That was a good mixtape as well. But like I said, Trash like Trey into somebody that, never got his turn yet. That's the thing about Marlo. He never was able to get his shine, get his turn yet and everything. So, it's messed up, going too soon. R.I.P. Marlo. But also as well, like, everything else, of course, with Lil Baby, him being a good father to his kids, everything like that, him, going back to this community we seeing, giving back and everything like that. But like I said, Lil Baby, like I said, always just been a cool, like low key cat. Like Thug said, Lil Baby was always different, had something different about him. That he knew that, like, yeah, Baby the one. He was the one up next and all that. But people really started to see his rapping and get better and better before his album even came out. People saw how much good a rapper was. When, like I said, like when him and Gunna Drip Too Hard, when that tape and that song came out together, that's when they knew Baby really like was that dude. Cause Gunna's another one, free Gunna as well. Gunna's another guy, man. I love Gunna's flow. Like Gunna's flow is just, man, the way he can ride a beat is just so ridiculous and all that. Kind of remind me of Tupac. That's one thing people don't talk enough about Tupac about. Tupac can ride a beat so heavy. And Gunna can do that. The way he ride a beat so hard, he flow and all that. But him, Lil Baby on Drip Too Hard, and when you knew like Lil Baby, like yeah, he was it. He was there. Even songs Lil Baby's done with Drake, he done held his own with Drake and all that and everything like that. The new song "Staying Alive" with him and DJ Khaled, like that song with him and DJ Khaled and Drake. To me, he had his verse went in. He had a better verse than Drake on there and all that, in my opinion, and everything. Also, the song the Pride is a Devil with him and J. Cole. That's probably, like I said, that to me that was album of the year last year. The J. Cole's last album off season. But that song with him and Lil Baby, that's like probably my favorite song on the album. The way Lil Baby twists his flow and able to rap on that, people just shocked like, whoa, like the way he rapping on there, like you know what I'm saying? Like Lil Baby snapping. I'm like, yo, he held his own with J. Cole, a top lyricist. That's like I said, that's something that showed like Lil Baby getting better and better each time in rapping. Like I said, I feel like Lil Wayne is definitely my new generation's Wayne. I feel like the Migos with QC were kind of like Wayne and Lil Baby's like Drake. Like people were calling Drake the GOAT, but after his first album already, people were calling Drake the GOAT and all and everything like that. So when people call Lil Baby, they doing documentaries on him and everything like that for only have dropping one album. Even though he just has one studio album, like I said, he has a bunch of mixtapes, collaborative mixtapes, been on QC's compilation albums and all that and everything like that. But he's really only had like one studio album, and people still already calling him the GOAT already. As I feel like he's like the new Wayne / Drake of my generation right now, where it's like, dang, he really gonna be something like that second album coming. I think that's gonna be good. That's gonna be hit. But I think when his third album come, that's when I think he'll really start getting Grammy nods doing all that. Cause to me, that's what Drake was. And Drake dropped Nothing Was the Same. That still is my favorite Drake album all time. That's when Drake was like Drake. That's what started from the bottom and all that and everything like that. That's when Drake was that dude and all that. That's when he showed who he was and all that. I think 'cause that was also in the midst of the Cash Money, Wayne and them feud when like, they were all like beat Wayne and Birdman were having that disagreement and all that. And Drake pretty much showed he held his own, pretty much doing his own thing without Wayne and all of them. So that's what I always say to me also as well why Nothing Was the Same as my favorite album from Drake. But Lil Baby, I feel like when that third album come, that's definitely gonna be something too where I feel like he's that dude. He's gonna come and really be like that guy and all that. So, like I said, good documentary and all that because I'm a big Lil Baby fan. Love his music and all that, like his style and everything on songs. Like I said, since my dog came out, I've been following Lil Baby's career since then. So, I loved it. Like I said, definitely enjoying, definitely entertained by the documentary. I wasn't gonna do a review on this first while I'm kind of late on it, but I kept on hearing people talk about it on TikTok, Instagram, and all that. So, and his album is coming out too. So I'm like, let me go ahead and do like a review on Lil Baby's documentary, Untrapped. Okay, very good. And since he's also from Georgia as well, my home state, I had to go ahead and saying definitely like check it out and then see if I like it or do a review on it. I enjoyed it, definitely entertained by it when I watched it last night. So I think that's everything. I talked about the main points of all of the key points of everything of like that documentary about him. Also, of course, as well being a businessman with 4PF, 4 Pockets Full, you know, his record label he done started and everything like that. So, like I said, he got a couple artists on there that I like and everything. So I definitely see, like I said, for sure, man, Lil Baby definitely like being a star and somebody that's gonna be in this rap game for a very, very long time. Because he even have Drake on that documentary talking good things about him, Charmaine the God as well. And then also Motown. I didn't know QC was actually partnered with Motown. Motown is definitely like somebody that's another like good like a good record label. I mean, big record label as well. That's where Michael Jackson was at. The King of Pop was like. That's where Smokey Robinson was at Motown. So Motown, yeah, Motown talking about you. Yeah, you a star and everything like that. Also, they talk about how loud, of course, DMX and Michael Jackson, other artists that were ignored by the Grammys and everything like that, which I actually didn't know about and all that about Michael Jackson. Knew about DMX, but I know Michael Jackson as well. So wow. But that, like I said, but that shows you Lil Baby definitely next album for sure. For sure, I feel like he'll definitely get a Grammy now for it. That shows you what kind of star he, definitely in the making Lil Baby is. He definitely has like the potential really, I think, gonna be that big star and everything. For sure, for sure. Like I said, he's all you hear on the radio, all you hear people on TikTok and all that. Lil Baby is that dude, man. For sure, man. and watching his documentary more and more, just like definitely seeing how much of a star he is and his growth and all that. So if you don't like his music like that, it's like at least one or two songs you definitely like from Lil Baby. So I feel like it's everything. Yeah, like I said, I feel like it's everything I tackled, everything I talked about, and all that. Everything I tackled, I think I talked about and tackled everything that was going on in Lil Baby's documentary. All the main key points that I liked and I saw and about his come up and everything and all that. Why he started, how he started rapping and all that, pretty much, etc. So I enjoyed this. I was entertained by it. Like I always said, if you like the content, please don't hesitate to hit that like subscribe button to Sly Media. This right here is my review on Lil Baby's documentary, Untrapped, man. And like I said, let me know in the comment section. Y'all gonna listen to his album as well. I know I am for sure. So y'all check me out on that. But this is Sly Media. Y'all have a good night and be safe wherever you at. This is Sly Media and Sly Media Sports / Hip Hop. Like I said, stay tuned. I'm still doing a review on Mozzie as well. Don't forget. I gotta forget. I gotta do a review on Mozzie's album. I'm definitely gonna do that. The review on his album. I'm definitely gonna do a review, of course, on Lil Baby when the album drop. But like I said, I had to do one on the documentary first, for sure, for sure. So y'all have a good night though.